Just Stop Oil have stopped their protests for now. That's after 4 days of climbing up gangtrees and bringing the M25 to a grinding, shuddering halt. The eco-warriors say that on Remembrance Day, those in government should consider their responsibilities to the country and to future generations. The activists began their protests earlier this year, ranging from gluing themselves to road and throwing tins of soup over famous paintings. They want the government to stop granting new oil and gas exploration licences, and they've warned that today's ceasefire may not be the last.
We're pausing to give the opportunity to the government again to sit down and speak with us about this and how they can possibly justify opening 100 new oil and gas fields when we're in the middle of an absolutely catastrophic climate emergency. If the government won't commit to our demand, then there's a real possibility that many, many millions of people are going to die. So yeah, we'll have to carry on.
I mean, this is extraordinary. Leaving aside the cause, it's actually how they're conducting their protest and the impact that's having on, which I think is really upsetting millions of people up and down the country. And then the response of the police to what they're doing. I mean, the law is crystal clear. The 1980s Highway Act, Section 137, I've actually read it. You're not allowed to willfully obstruct the highway. And that is what they are doing consistently since they started this process. And the law is also crystal clear that the police should arrest them and should charge them, and potentially they should be imprisoned for up to 51 weeks. And what I think is upsetting people is that the police are utterly failing to carry out their duties. We've had the extraordinary scene. The chief, Mr. Noble, the chief of the National Police Chief Council, has said the police cannot arrest their way out of disruption by green activists. Well, the role of the police literally is to uphold the law and to arrest those who are breaking it. Yeah. What am I missing here?
I accept everything you're saying. I would disagree with quite a lot of it. However, we're talking about methods rather than what the government could be doing. I'll tell you how it stops, Richard. All of this you're explaining about highway codes and Section 3s and 5s and whatnot.
It's the law.
But if the government sat and had a conversation with the activists, it would stop tomorrow. Well, it's already stopped. They're giving them an opportunity. What they are asking of the government is to stop new oil and gas licences. And if the government agreed to that, which we can do,
It's a completely impractical solution. Well, lots of reasons. I mean, there's a bunch of things on this. I mean, I don't know who these people think they are to make, a few posh people turn up, say, I demand the government does it. Get in the bin. You've got no right to make those demands.
It's so important.
But Nicola, at COP this week, you've got every world leader there. Not every world leader, actually. Oil-producing Baron Trudeau from Canada didn't bother turning up. Germany did kind of show up, even though they're digging away like good uns at the moment. Have the Just Stop Oil people ever stopped to consider they might be wrong, or they might have just sprinkled on a bit too much hyperbole? There's no government in the world, not even the left-wing ones, not even St Jacinda down there in New Zealand, that is agreeing or going anywhere near to the levels they are asking for, which sort of tells you, because all these world leaders don't want the world to end on their watch, or even when they're alive. So it might just tell some of those oil protesters that maybe, just maybe, remote possibility that ardent extremism like this might just be wrong.
I don't care about their cause. I'm bored with it. What I worry about these people, though, that as you say, that their certitude is insane. They clearly, these girls and some of the guys as well who go on the TV are clearly suffering from some kind of psychological monomania. They're not right in the head. I'm really worried about them, and that's why they stop all these motorways, where they think that any method that gets their message across is justified, even if it involves the other day a serious accident. These people need help. That's their problem.
Aisha.
So, I think if people say they don't care about the cause, then I feel like sometimes I'm in that scene from that film Don't Look Up.
Yes.
Where
that rubbish.
that quite good film actually.
Absolute rubbish.
But look, I think where I have a lot of common cause with them is that we are collectively, and I say as a world, not doing enough about this. The UN report recently says we're absolutely nowhere near being within our targets. Climate change is not something that's going to affect our children or our grandchildren. It's happening now. we've all experienced this extreme weather. I mean, London, the rest of the country is just getting hotter and hotter. Loads of migration is going to be happening because of climate crisis and things like that. We've got to do way more than
Is it
we're
us,
doing
though?
about
Is
it.
it us?
But hang on, I'm just saying, let me finish, Kevin. It's a kind of a global problem. But what I think is that, and I can understand their frustration, because the only time we talk about this is to slag off the people from Just Stop Oil. We're not really like talking about the issues and what we should be doing. But I do find them deeply annoying, and I feel that they are alienating a lot of people from their cause. And it kind of breaks my heart when I see them do these stupid stunts, because I just think there is a better way of strategic campaigning. They are absolutely right to raise these issues, but they are alienating a lot of people.
And you have to win people's hearts and minds, and it's frustrating as broadcasters as well, because the second they do something that seemingly the public deem to be unacceptable, we here end up debating whether or not they should have done the thing, rather than talking about the issue. I love that we spoke...
That's their fault, right?
Yes, no, I accept that. And I love that we're actually talking about policy, and we're trying to deal in facts and disagreements about the
Look
cause
at this
rather than...
here. Why are they going for that? And that's Ferrari. Before that, the Rolex building. What's watches got
But
to do with all that?
it's the physical damage,
Oil-based
it's the
paint.
methods. Of course, there are many issues that are important, of which this is clearly one. But the idea that you just stop everybody else from earning a living, from getting to their own father's funerals and things, it's revolting, it's repugnant.
Yes.
And I think they are low life, and they are doing deep damage to the cause they believe in.
Yeah, it's unforgivable to stop somebody from getting to hospital or attending a funeral. However, we've had up to 33 million people being displaced in Pakistan, 500 extra wildfires in the UK this year alone than we did last year.
You do realise that Pakistan has floods every year. They have a major flood every 10 years. It hasn't got any worse. I'm sorry, that's simply not true, Aisha. It's absolutely not true.
Okay. On that, there is a disproportionate amount of posh people with funny names as well take part. But that's a whole other.
Indigo Rumbelow.
Don't worry, that's like the people that led the Brexit campaign, so it's fine for them to have a... It's fine for, like, posh people to be leading the Brexit campaign.
No, I was talking about the names. I mean, Richard Tice is a very nice, very strong...
You shouldn't discriminate against
very
nice
strong
posh
name.
people.
Angela Beaujolais
Absolutely.
Magulash
Shouldn't be
Smithereens.
discriminating
Did you say that one, Indigo Rumbelow?
Jacob Rees-Mogg, you know, we shouldn't be
Cover
discriminating
name is
about
that.
You're getting an
that.
argument with me on that.